Welcome back to Unplugged and Unstoppable, the podcast where we explore extraordinary journeys of transformation, awakening, and living life on your own terms. My guest today is someone whose story genuinely stopped me in my tracks. Today, Maz Anderson inspires hundreds, if not thousands, of people online through her channel Real Talk with Maz. She's an author, spiritual teacher, and is now building her own publishing company to help other people tell their stories. But none of that is where her story begins. Before the books, before the awakening, and before the peace, Maz experienced addiction, homelessness, grief, heroin dependency, decades on methadone, and a period in her life where she genuinely believed she would die from addiction. Yet somehow, through recovery, deep inner work, spirituality, and an unwavering commitment to healing herself, she rebuilt her entire life. Today, she lives on the beautiful island of Mull, writes books that inspire thousands of people around the world, teaches others how to reconnect with themselves, and is on a mission to help aspiring authors share their own stories with the world. In this conversation, we talk about addiction, grief, trauma, awakening, nervous system healing, and leaving behind endless rabbit holes of fear, moving to the Isle of Mull, discovering peace, and building a publishing business, and why your greatest struggles become your greatest purpose. So whether you're struggling with addiction or feeling stuck, going through your own awakening, or simply wondering whether it's ever too late to completely reinvent your life, I think you're going to get something from this conversation. So grab a coffee, settle in. This is one of the most honest conversations we've had on the podcast. This is Unplugged and Unstoppable with Maz Anderson. Welcome back to Unplugged and Unstoppable. And my guest today is Maz, who has a channel on YouTube. She's on Facebook and Instagram called Real Talk with Maz. Maz isn't just another spiritual coach. What makes her compelling is that she's lived almost every stage of transformation: addiction, grief, homelessness, recovery, awakening, rebuilding, leaving everything behind, moving to Mull, the Isle of Mull of Scotland, becoming an author. And she's going to talk also about now building a publishing company to help others tell their stories. What an amazing journey we're going to cover today. So Maz, it's brilliant to have you on today. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm great. Just relaxing, enjoying the Mull weather with the rain battering off the window.
Fantastic. You've shared some lovely shares in the sunshine recently. I guess we've all got a turn in the weather now.
I know.
Fantastic. Well, let's start at the beginning. People who don't know you on my channel, obviously they do on yours. Let's talk about before anyone knew you as an author or a spiritual teacher. Who were you? Go back as far as you like to go. Just introduce us to where did you come from?
I was a innocent sort of young kid. I started working in hairdressing when I was 12, and when you're with a lot of hairdressers and that, you end up, getting involved in things you shouldn't be, like drugs and things like that, and he had night suit, and so it started basically from there. I was going out partying, and then when I turned 18, that's when things sort of started going a bit pear-shaped. Do you know what I mean? That's when I started getting into the heavy sort of drugs, and I just turned totally just chaotic. I didn't have the greatest of childhood, and that was all learning anyway. Do you know what I mean? Because I believe that everything that's put in our path is, for us, is not happening to us. Do you know what I mean? Because if all that things didn't happen, I wouldn't be doing the things that I'm doing now. Do you know what I mean? Helping other people and guiding through like trauma for childhood, or like a chaotic, like my dad was a drinker. Do you know what I mean? And my mum was working. So, I just.
Sorry to interrupt you. You say addiction wasn't the problem. It was the solution. No. So talk us through your parents again. Sorry, I interrupted you there. Go ahead with that and help us understand.
Well, my dad had addiction issues.
I see.
So I was similar to my dad. You know what I mean? So I like to escape because I couldn't handle. I was running from myself. That was the truth. Well, because I didn't want to face reality, the only way I could face reality is if I was high, if I was drunk or high, because it numbed it all out. I didn't need to deal with nothing. Do you know what I mean?
And it is often the case.
That was the solution because I just wanted to be numb. But that wasn't the problem. That was just a solution to some of my problems.
Okay, and how bad did it actually get?
Well, I was homeless. I was in and out of bed and breakfasts and hostels, and I was injecting heroin. Um, I was on a methadone strip for 30 odd years. Uh, yeah, it was. And then when I lost my partner when I was in my early 20s, that's when I really had to drink because I wasn't really a drinker before that.
And was there a moment you genuinely believed you were going to die?
Yeah, I was, I knew, that's what I thought to myself, because if you talk to a lot of addicts in recovery, that's what they'll tell you. We all thought that that's how we're going to end, and we just accepted the fact.
And
And
yeah,
that
I've got
was it.
friends and close family gone through those similar struggles, and I know you kind of hit the pits and can't find a way out, but somehow you've managed to find that. You spoke about losing your partner, and you also lost your father, didn't you? And your children's father. How much did grief fuel the addiction?
Well, yeah, that didn't help, but I was already far in before
Okay.
I lost my partner. Do you know what I mean? I was already using heroin at a time when I lost my partner. So, and that's when I stopped taking heroin. I turned the opposite way and went down to drink.
Did
I
you?
started drinking every
So
day.
is that all the way through your
So,
20s then into your early 30s? Okay.
yeah, yeah. I was in and out of rehab as well.
Wow. So you describe addiction just now and in your content as running from yourself. When did you first realize you were actually running?
About a couple of years ago, when I started facing my shadows and that, and realised that I was running from things that had happened to me that I didn't want to face. So, and then once I started facing all my, because we talk about it as a shaman, we talk about doing soul retrieval work. Well, that's the sort of work I was doing on myself because that's what we have to do. Us wounded healers have to heal ourselves before we can heal anyone else.
I
Do you know
had
what I
no
mean?
idea it was so recent. And for the listeners, Maz has an amazing catalogue of works on her website, which we'll share in a minute. It's a PayHip website with all her works. I might share screen in a minute, but subjects like stop abandoning yourself. You're not behind, you're just human. Um, and we'll talk about some of those subjects in a minute, but so many categories of kind of inner work and personal transformation covered by your catalogue. So were there moments you genuinely thought there was no way back?
Yeah, I just resided the fact that I was just going to die that way, and I was okay with that because I wasn't happy being here. Do you know what I mean? I was that desperate to may be here that I wasn't caring. I was just waiting for the day. Basically, I was counting down the days. It was just like it's just basically you're basically just playing the lottery. Do you know what I mean? You're just waiting for your
So
time to be up.
I've got to ask then, where does the hope in this story begin? Like the first steps towards recovery. How did that happen?
I had my second child because my first child she was only one when she went to my mum's, and I I went into rehab and I couldn't get clean, and then I fell pregnant when I was in Newcastle because I stayed down there for 5 years, and I had to get clean. Well, I had to get clean because I had my son, but I ended up after 4 years, after my son was four, I got really bad back on drugs again, and I had to go into rehab, and my body was in a mess. I was physically, emotionally, and spiritually bankrupt. And I knew I was going to die like pretty soon because I had ulcers in me, I had blood clots. It was a matter of time before I was going to go, okay? So, and I needed to do it for myself more than anything. well, I went into rehab the third time I went into rehab. And the difference with this rehab was they put you in Narcotics Anonymous meetings, recovery meetings. We'll just say recovery meetings. And that gave me a bit of a foundation.
What actually had to heal for you then? Because you're obviously going through what one of my previous guests, Leslie, she talked about the 12 steps. Did you find those useful, and did you cover those?
I'll be honest, I struggled with the Narcotics Anonymous, and I think a lot of people do. And it does take a lot of people out the door. That's what we call people who leave, because they can't do the 12 steps, because it is like, it's repetitive. It didn't sink in for me. It didn't work for me. No, I had to leave the meetings and go down the spiritual route and go down. I became a Reiki master, and I just started guiding myself. Well, it wasn't. It was actually my dad who taught me, and my dad's my teacher for the other side, right? And he basically says to me, "You need to stop going at meetings. They're not helping you. They're making you worse." And I thought, why would he tell me something like that if I'm doing all right and being clean and on? But he was right. I wasn't growing. I was getting worse. So as soon as I left at meetings, my life started taking off.
Is that right? So he knew how you were put together. Give us an idea then of, so you listened to your dad, he's talking about doing Reiki and energy work. Talk us through the first steps of doing that.
Well, I'll be honest, I knew that I could heal my body because I had thingied my eye, and I needed to heal it because I knew I wasn't going to go to hospital. I don't like doctors for obvious reasons. And I just said to myself, well, I'm going to be disfigured if I don't do something about it. And I just started doing that. And then the next thing, it started healing. I was really sore. I could feel the bones like moving and on. And I just started going right in, and it healed. And I was like, I need to go and do it. And then I went into Reiki.
So practicing Reiki actually shifted you physically, is what you're talking about. And
it helps you physically, mentally, everything.
Amazing. So I guess you carried on doing that, and you often talk about the nervous system as well. So did that play a part? How did you learn about the nervous system?
Well, it was basically my nervous system was shot to shit, and I didn't even know it was until I came to Mull, and that's only 8-9 months ago that I knew I was still operating from survival mode, and my nervous system was out of place. I was scanning for danger because I'm a childhood and that, it was a bit chaotic and stuff, and I never felt safe in that because my dad had addiction issues, and we're not perfect. Do you know what I mean? I made mistakes. It's just because you've been, because I had like toxic relationships and all, and I was scanning for danger, didn't feel safe within your own body. But when I moved here, I went through a bit of a stage for a couple of weeks where I felt really emotional because my nervous system just went. I could finally breathe again. I just felt relaxed and at peace. And then I understood my nervous system was still shot even before I left.
You talk about being in fight or flight mode for years. Did you even know what peace felt like back then?
No, I never felt peace in my life. And see, now I've got it. It's a non-negotiable. Like no one, no friends, family, anything will come in between. That's amazing. My peace.
And I guess Mull is such a unique environment. It's island life. It's very calm. There's no traffic probably, or it's one traffic light or one T junction. That's probably about it.
There's only one little roundabout, and that's it. I think there's one little set of fake lights, and it's been there for like 20 odd years. But there's nothing. Honestly, I love it here. The energy of the place is just amazing.
Sounds amazing. You've got Balamory ice cream shop there, is that right? Or Balamory? There's something Balamory, is that right?
I was on the cartoon, the program. I had to play extra or whatever it is, supporting assistant. I went on it and done it, and it was good for the experience.
My kids loved it because there was the bus with Edie McCready on it. I absolutely love that. You said something very different about your perspective, and this comes directly from some of your book synopsis. When did spirituality first enter your life?
Well, I've always been spiritual. I was like, read the sun, the horoscopes, and I'd be into tarot reading, and my mum would always say, "Oh, that's shite. Don't believe in all that crap, kid." So I just left it. But then as I got older, I got more into it. Do you know what I mean?
I want to cover kind of awakening now. So was your awakening gradual, or was there something particular that collapsed overnight?
But when I think about it, it was sort of gradual. But when my dad died, that's when things started going weird for me. But that's because I was going through initiations I didn't even know I was going through. Because my dad was a shaman, and so I had to basically take over for what he was doing. Do you know what I mean? And I just started hearing my dad more. I started hearing the dead. I thought, I'm God schizophrenic here, like, and I had to go and I was messaging my psychic friend, and she was like, "No, you're just awakening. You're all right." And then after it just started from there, and then my third eye opened, and then I went through a few Kundalini awakenings. Oh, sorry, a few dark nights of the soul.
Yeah. Was this before or after COVID?
Before COVID, I was gone through my initiations and stuff. But when everything's totally was probably about 2019 when that was it. Just I was just like, whoo. I knew everything was a lie. Yeah, okay. I knew just yep. I just knew that I'd been lied to, and I was more than I knew that I was more than we're being taught to believe. Do you know what I mean? I knew that we was more than just this human body, and that's when I started going right down all the rabbit
Yeah,
holes.
so you actually,
Uh,
like me now, encourage people to stop continually disappearing down endless rabbit holes. So what would you say
I'm off.
to people who are struggling with that? Like they can't help but see the doom and gloom because you spent years trying to wake people up and realize you're only draining yourself.
I spent about 6 years, and trust me, I did awaken quite a few
Yeah.
people on my way. I was,
What would you say to someone now? Now you've got the benefit of hindsight and a bit more wisdom around.
I wouldn't be doing Nina the Rabbit, gonna do Nina the Rabbit holes because it's there by design to drain your energy, to keep you focused away from yourself. You've got all the answers inside you, and you always have. As you awaken even more, you get a higher level of consciousness, and that gets you to see through the veil even more. So just trust in yourself and believe that everything that you're needing to know is inside all along. Like you'll find out about the outside world, and it'll all come to you. You don't need to go down any rabbit holes because that's just wasting your energy. And I wouldn't even go down rabbit holes. I would get to know thyself. That's what I would do. If I was to go through my awakening again, I'd get to know myself at a soul level and what I actually sets my soul on fire.
That's a bar right there. Perfect. I love it. You talk about boundaries almost as much as awakening. Why is that?
Oh, because I'm telling you, because see, if you and I got boundaries, there's our souls that come in and drain your energy. Like this is how you know that people aren't for you. They'll not be happy for you. A lot of people, your friends, wouldn't be happy for you. That's a fact. When you start changing and start evolving, because they see that you're not doing well in yourself. Do you know what I mean? And they start to try and do you know what I mean? Attack you, like. Aye, there's a lot of jealousy and the evil eye and I'm telling you, so I started keeping my things to myself until there was out into the world. Do you know what I mean? I didn't tell anybody about a book. I didn't tell anybody about all the digital books and guides I done. I just put it out, and then there you go. Because people will come and attack what you're trying to build. Do you know what I mean? You've got to have boundaries with men, relationships, friendships, because they drain your energy. They'll try and take you away from your purpose, and you don't even like you don't realize it until you're in it. But a lot of like I hate to watch what I do because men will come in a boot and trying to get in a boot and they take you off of your purpose and So that's why I've stayed single for 9 years.
Fair enough. Well,
Yeah.
no, that's brilliant. One of your books is entitled "Fuck 'em." Where did that title come from?
Yes. Well, because I'd heard the title, "Let Them." Thingy, let them. And I says, no, fuck him.
So, do you think, therefore, people confuse compassion with self-sacrifice? We're talking about the energy train.
Yes, yes. They think they're being the nice person and I'm helping you and I'm doing this for you and sacrificing their own self and people pleasing and no, that's basically telling the universe that you didn't matter, that they are matter, not they are
Brilliant.
with you matters more than yourself. Uh-uh. No, you're the most important person in us. Anybody else, they're all just characters
Yeah, some
playing
of
their
them
parts.
NPCs as well. Right.
I think a lot of us are NPCs, do you know what I mean? Until you realise that you're playing a game and you've got your avatar thing on and you're actually aware of you playing this game, you're an NPC.
I totally agree, and I come to realize that is most definitely the case, because you create your own reality, and those
Yeah.
bumping into you quite often are the next lesson or the next thing to learn about,
Uh,
for instance, the
mm,
boundaries you're talking about, which is really,
oh,
really relevant, especially when you kind of figure out, okay, I've got to focus on myself for a few years here. I've got to figure out, design a new life, because the old one's pretty shot now. I don't believe in any of these paradigms anymore. Mainstream life
mm-hmm,
needs to do one, and I've got to
uh,
reconfigure my life. So a lot of the changes in your mind and the energy shifts you have accelerate the journey towards that goal that you're looking for. And many people along the way will come and bounce off, or encourage you to learn a new boundary. That's a polite way of putting it.
exactly.
So
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about the next chapter now, which was when you started to leave everything behind and move to the Isle of Mull. Give us an idea of why that happened.
Mm-hmm. My soul was strangling me. That's the only way I can describe it. It was like I was getting strangled. It was like, no, you've got to leave. There was a few things that happened in the house. Like I fell at my back door, because I don't know if it happened to you, but I lost a lot of weight when I started getting to the next level. I lost a bit of weight, and I was like passing out. And
Really?
I stairs on, and I didn't feel comfortable yet, and it was just I felt like I was getting strangled, and I'd been there for 16 years, and I loved that house, and I thought I'm gonna pick who I'm getting exchange, right? I'm probably gonna find a house I love, so it's not gonna happen anyway. I'm just gonna and then I got offered here, and I was like, I couldn't say no.
Brilliant. And
Yeah.
so you felt,
And I never told nobody hardly that I was moving either, because I knew if I told anyone, they'd try and change my mind and say, oh, no, you can't do that. And, oh, you're going to a different place and you didn't even know anyone. No, you can't do that. So I'm saying you've got to keep things
of
quiet.
course. And did you still have contact with people who were struggling with addiction at the time? Because they can sometimes keep you back.
I still do know people who like a drink or do this and do that, but near like heavy drugs. No,
Okay. So
no,
you
no,
changed
it's
your,
a totally different life's away. Like that's no.
okay. So you kind of managed to separate yourself from that friendship group, or
Aye,
those people that could keep you down, and had you,
aye.
but you still felt suffocated and strangled where you were. So you took the decision to move. And what was it that actually pulled you away to Mull? Was there an opportunity or something?
Well, it was just no. I just wanted to be somewhere where it was good for the dogs, and I knew I was getting bored of that, and I wanted to be near water,
Why not?
but you couldn't be near where you tried. It's rude. So, and I just as soon as I seen it, I came to visit it before I accepted, and I fell in love. I didn't want to come back to Aberdeen. I only had to come back. I had my dogs. If I didn't need to get my dogs, I'd have just stayed here and got my stuff transported.
After you'd moved to Mull, did everyone, when you did tell everyone, did they think you lost your mind? What?
Uh, Yeah. They're like, what the are you thinking? Like, and I thought, I didn't care.
And
I like it. It's beautiful.
yeah,
And now they're wanting to come over. I've got a few friends coming over on Friday. See what I mean? They're all mourning, but they're all wanting to come over and visit.
I mean, I lived in an island called Alderney in the Channel Islands, and I loved it. There was 2,000 people,
There's no many chemtrails.
2.5 by 5.5. So I think it's maybe a tad bigger than Mull, but not much. So you said you didn't realize you were still living in survival mode until you moved. So that fascinates me. Can you explain that?
Because I remember I just started doing TikToks and all, and I was just chaotic. I was just wanting to go for everyone. I was about the government, this, being lied to. I was gunning for everyone. I felt I'd been conned out of everything. Do you know what I mean? And I was just constantly, like, wanting to survive, wanting to prove a point in my ego. Do you know what I mean? And then when I came here, and it was just like quiet, and my just nervous system just went, oh, and I just got all emotional. I'm like, it just felt so slower, and it's hard to describe it. I just felt more connected back to myself because I was so lost trying to prove points and doing reels about I'm right about conspiracy theories, and because I was really bad at the time, I was talking about it, Ken. But it was draining my energy. It was keeping me in fight or flight because I was wanting to have this thing with you. Do you know what I mean? And now I totally detached. That's what you hate to do. Totally detached from the outside.
I know that feeling well. Getting into protest and activism, you can't help but get angry because you're in that material all day long. You're talking to each other, friends, doing podcasts, doing material. You're kind of antagonizing each other a little bit because you're all angry for the same reason. You are
Yeah, and it's just looping, keeping you stuck in the same cycle. And you're losing your energy, not getting anywhere. You're just in the same predicament, even growing and growing a business or creating something. Do you know what I mean?
Which is where I think I really resonate with what you're doing in your journey. It's similar to mine. It's like you have to make the choice in the end that you can rattle 10,000 cages, but only so many are going to actually pay attention. So are you not better off just creating value in other people's lives, helping them make something better of their lives and, transform their lives? And the answer is
because it starts with us. As soon as we start changing, then the outer world has to change. Do you know what I mean? That sickness kind of operate at a higher level of consciousness and vibration. Do you know what I mean? Because we're about love, unity, peace, love thy neighbor. Do you know what I mean? So once we start helping healing other people and they start, do you know what I mean? It's just got to be a knock-on effect. And all that sickness and darkness has got no option but to go.
I love that. And would you say you found peace now? You've moved to Mull.
Oh, I'm so peaceful inside, and because I'm peaceful inside, my outer reality is peaceful. Because we mirror it, as above, so below, it, as within, so without. Do you know what I mean?
That is beautiful. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I've seen a lot of people now pivoting from their activism into something that's going to help others. And it starts with yourself, that's for sure.
Oh,
So tell us about the experience it might have been a painful one, getting into publishing and that becoming the catalyst for learning every part of publishing. Tell us about that.
I'm glad you asked that one. No, I made a business mistake, and it cost me nearly £5,000. And I didn't do my research because I was co-authoring a book, and it didn't go the way I thought it would go. Do you know what I mean? I hate to watch that I'm saying, because to be honest, it is got to be, I am doing something about it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay, understood. Well, let's keep it just general
But I'm just saying about business. I did it in the published side of things. This is why I want to be different, is because I just a lot of the publishers take like their rights, they take some royalties and things like that. Well, I think that's absolutely a joke. I really do. I think when you do that book should be yours. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and I wished I'd done the research. Do you know what I mean? The proper research before I got into publishing. I wished I'd done the research. I wished I got to know whoever I was, or whatever I was involved in. I'd done all the research properly, and they just believed what I seen. Do you know what I mean? It maybe looked pretty on the outside, but it wasn't. It was a con. But it gave me the fire up the ass to write a book and start my own publishing business.
And you've now written all these books. So if you get a chance, click on the link in the show notes, Real Talk with Maz on payhip.com. So many titles. I'm trying to count them all up. So that's 4, 8, 12, 16. I think you've written about 20 books, haven't you?
20,
And a course and a mini course.
I'm in a
Absolutely
course.
brilliant. So everyone has a book inside them, and you say that
Yeah.
often. Why do you believe that?
Because we do. It could seem something so insignificant to us, but it could help somebody else. Do you know what I mean? It could be anything so small. Do you know what I mean? People think because you write a book, it's something really dramatic. It could just be a love story. It could be something so simple. Do you know what I mean? Or it could be a kid's book, or it could be anything. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't need to be, oh, I've got to write this big massive, because this hasn't happened to me, and this hasn't happened to me, I didn't have a book in me. No, we've all got books in us. It could be mental health, chronic illness. Do you know what I mean? Relationships. It could be anything.
And you've already talked about what's broken inside the publishing industry is the lack of kind of transparency and taking the author for a ride.
Yeah.
So where should someone start if they want to avoid these traps? What would you say to them?
Just do research. Just find out who they are or the company and get to know if there's anyone else done any work with them. Find out for a cert if there's anyone else that's had any dealings with them. Look up Trustpilot, because I'm telling you, I didn't know it, and then I looked it up and I thought, if I'd looked at Trustpilot, it would have saved me $5,000.
Yeah, of course. And you said you didn't even know how to use a laptop, and now you've written all these books. So what's changed?
Well, this is right. So I didn't know I work a laptop, and I started learning, and I did come a few blocks with it, right? So what I do is, as a shaman, right, I've got a spirit animal, which is this is crazy, right? Which is an elephant, right? An elephant is wisdom and things like that. So what I done was I went into a trance type thing. We saw my elephant, where it's like, well, what I've seen was it was like smoke and everything, and it was walking through, and it was just kind of out with the smoke, right? And then as soon as I came out of that thing, I knew exactly what I was doing on a laptop.
Isn't that amazing? Not many people can say that, Maz, but I'm delighted that your spirit animal is an elephant.
Yeah, I've got an elephant, I've got a black panther, I've got a snake, and I've got a hawk.
Is that right? I'd love to know, what is the hawk?
Oh, the hawk's my vision. Oh, I've got, as you get more on in your shaman initiations and that, and you get your gifts online, and one of mine is like I can astral travel and I can remote view and do all sorts of things.
Really amazing. I'm really into the whole out of body stuff and near death experience, and I guess remote
I've
viewing.
had a few near death experiences.
Have you really? Okay, I'm going to just take a little tangent here now, Maz. What did you experience in your near death experience, the most memorable one?
Well, I was lying there with my partner, and I was using drugs at the time, and I couldn't move. I was trying to go to waking up my partner, and I was trying to speak, and it was like I was speaking, but I was not coming out. I couldn't even move, and then the next thing, I was up. I was actually looking down on myself, and then the next thing, I just woke up, and then I could talk and move. It was like I was paralyzed, and I could see myself looking down on myself. I think I'd overdosed. That's what it was.
Yeah, and you could
And
have
I
been
came
close.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Mm.
it sounds like a classic OBE, out of body experience. Interesting. Well, maybe for another podcast we go through some of them. But yeah, so one of the things. So what is the favorite book that you've written?
The Art of Detachment's got to be a goodie. Aye, definitely. Because I'm basically all the books and guides ID is all about me. It's all roadmaps of things I've learned.
Amazing. And that particular book, how would you describe it?
It's basically just talking about detachment and surrendering to the process and talking about relationships and getting into detail about it and just help guiding people. Do you know what I mean? They feel bad for cutting people off and for having boundaries. And do you know what I mean? Because a lot of people walk about and think they've got to be a high mighty person helping Abdi, and it's leaving them depleted. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, very true. This is about life in general. What's the hardest lesson you've ever learned?
That not everyone is actually for you, and not everyone you think is going to come on this journey with you is.
I can certainly resonate with that one. If your younger self could see you today, what do you think she'd say?
What the fuck?
Seriously, yeah.
It should be like, really? What, you've written a book and you tell people to piss off and that? Yeah, you don't give a fuck about no one. I'm saying, what? I die worry and I die anxiety. No, you don't give a flying fuck. I'm like, yeah.
I absolutely love that. I love it. That is the best answer. So, what does success mean to you now, Maz?
Success. Being a good person. Helping people. Do you know what I mean? It's not about money for me. Like, that means nothing.
Yeah, 100%.
No.
We lose all those attachments, hopefully, when we wake up. They mean less and less. Yeah, 100%. And so what does peace mean to you now?
Oh, it means everything. That's the main goal of life, is just being at peace in here, being at peace with your past, being at peace with how everything's turned out, just being at peace with everything and acceptance. It's all about accepting the fact that, yeah, everything's the way it is and everything happened in your past. You can't change any of it. Do you know what I mean? You've just got to keep going and be in this present moment.
Absolutely. So now tell us, what are you trying to build in the next 5 years then? What's the publishing world going to look like?
I obviously want to help other authors publish their books. And I would really like to have a animal sanctuary.
Okay. Amazing.
I would really like to hear like some animals and a caravan and a bit of land, and obviously helping guide others and yeah,
Sounds
keep
amazing.
writing books because I love writing books and I just love it.
Fantastic. So let's now just reflect back on what you've been talking about today. So if someone listening today is sitting exactly where you once sat, feeling trapped, ashamed, addicted, or believing life will never change, what would you want them to know?
Anything, honestly, never give up. I've got a tattooed on my arm, never give up, and honestly, that's it. Just never give up and believe that, you know, everything is happening for you and not to you. So all that shit is actually happening to you right now is actually helping you guide you to where you really need to be. Do you know what I mean? It could be your purpose at the end of the day, whatever you're going through, it's actually helping guide you. You know, people think, oh, it's poor me, poor me. No, just realize, listen, oh, what is this teaching me? What is this showing me?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Amazing. And Maz, like, I've listened to your content for the last, 2 months, and I've been really taken by how grounded and just open you are to change, which really, really attracted me into your content, because I want to encourage others that no matter how dark a place you're in, And your story
Yeah.
totally does that. There's a way out. And, if you are
And
caught.
there's always a way out. Always a way out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Always.
And knowing people in my own life who've struggled with addiction and actually lost their lives in addiction, you're definitely the beacon of hope for those kind of people who are feeling stuck. And certainly also for those that are stuck in the doom loop and the black-pilled doom scroll. Listen. I encourage you to listen to what Maz is saying, because the transformation you can achieve in a short space of time. It sounds like by the time you went to Mull, all kinds of things.
And believe in yourself. Believe in yourself.
100%. And I could see so many people being inspired by your journey, Maz, because it is the complete arc of the hero's journey, which one of my previous guests, Beth Martins, talked about in her book about the hero's journey. So I'm going to put Maz's show notes in the show. Maz's links in the show notes for this show. But Maz, was there anything that I could have asked that you'd wish that I did?
No, you've lost everything. No, everything's perfect.
Thank you. And just tell the audience where they can find you. Like, which platforms are you on, and what's the...
I'm on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok. It's all Real Talk with Maz. And Facebook, it's Adventures Around Mull, because I've started sharing like all my adventures and what I got up to, camping and things like that.
It's brilliant. And it's just real talk, as you say, Maz. It's grounded, it's based in personal experience. And for those who are on their awakening journey, wanting to start a business, even online, offline, whatever, even just you're in that place where you think, I may not need a business, but I'm gaining some encouragement and a source of, I don't know, a more positive route and direction, then Maz's content is definitely for you. So I want to wrap up this episode, Maz, by saying thank you for carving out an hour of your time. It's most appreciated. And I can't wait to see more of your episodes. I encourage you on your journey. Best of luck with your publishing business. And you have definitely been unplugged.
Thank you so much for asking me to come on. It was a pleasure.
You're welcome, Maz. You've been unplugged and unstoppable, Maz. See you again soon. And for everyone at home, until the next episode, take care.
Energy lights, I rise with the dawn. Shadow tried to hold me, but the truth lives on. Every breath a weapon, every thought's a flame. I step in power, I reclaim my name. chance of life was mine to win. Rooted in the earth, connected to the sky. I walk awake and never again will I deny the fire in my soul, eternal, unbreakable, unplugged and unstoppable.